I'm just going to spend the next 30 minutes going for a Mugsy and just going in depth, step by step. So, in the very start of pull, we're going to pull the boss roughly to this T shape here. And what we're going to do is bait mines, so everyone's stacking close around about this area. I'll play the video and you can see.
I got killed by the tank.
So they pull the boss to that section we talked about after this cast. And basically what we want is everyone be playing around about this area until the mines spawn. And this will basically make it so that the mines spawn closer to the wall, making it easier to soak. Once the mines have spawned, we can fade away, disperse from the group, and just go on the outside like this, playing this area here. So I'll play it and you can see. So they're getting in close. These, be aware of what circles are which. We don't want to be popping any mines by accident. So the more browny circles are the mines, and the more fire circles are the shrapnel, which we need to soak. After the mines, we're going to get a rocket. So the person who gets this rocket goes right up against the wall as far as they can. So if the wall is here, you basically just go right next to it as far as you can. And this will be the non-immunity soaking. So it'll be this grip one here. So everyone except from the tanks, the mages, and Irradium. So next is going to be two frontals. So the first frontal is a tank soak, so we're always going to aim these frontals on the dirt side. So aim on the dirt side, tank soaks it, the player's going to get a big circle, and at that point we're going to throw an external on them, just to help them out. So they get this big circle you can see here, and they're just going to go right up against the wall and make sure it doesn't go in raid. And they also get an external. Next frontal is spray and pray, so you do the exact same, just aim it towards this corner here. This player will get out of the way. And during this, we will be switching to dirt side afterwards. So most of the raids should be playing on this line here, but everyone can basically start moving over to dirt side, except from our anchor, which is Patch. You'll be going at 89 energy. So in this scenario here, Vikland is their anchor, and because he's the anchor, he can't go on dirt. So what he's doing here is completely fine. He is baiting the frontal on the metal side, and then he's going to swap over for the switch. You see here, see the weak core in the middle. When it gets to about 98, he's going to switch over like that. And we're going to get raid damage, and it's going to go into prisons. So these prisons, you just want to place it around about here-ish, where I'm drawing. You can see there that was a mage that got it, so he's putting his displacement here, and then he's going over here so that he can quickly go in and out. So one thing I will say is, this is, I go back to the image. This is number one, or left. And this is number two, which is right. So in the left one, we've got Goblin Body and Kandak in this one. And in the right one, we've got Artem and Ruffy in the second one. So these players here, they're basically going to have to drop down. The monks will have to drop down an Ascendance, and the warlock will have to drop down their demonic gateway. so that they don't break the cages, and we can use it for the shattering spears. And if you're not meant to be in, you'll be gripped out. That's mainly like priests. People who can't escape by themselves will be gripped. So basically, the next movement is Frostbite. So on Mythic, we get the sliding debuff. To get rid of that, we go into fire. So every time there's Frostbites coming up, we just everyone stacks into fire. And then afterwards, you're going to get assigned left or right, and you'll basically just go behind the walls and fire their spear through the wall. So we watch it, and I'll go over a few more things. You see here, they get assigned, and they're going roughly here and here. And these people, when they kill the ad, they are using their gateway or their transcendence to get out and not breaking the walls. So one other thing is if you're in the prison and you have a taunt ability, you should be taunting the goon here. So that will make it so that the frontal is always on one player. You're going to be dodging the frontal anyways, so just make sure, it just ensures that it's always on the same player, making it easier for other players to dodge. So you can see here, if you look at this monk here, let me try to keep an eye on him. The second it dies, he's going to press his transcendence. Roughly there. I don't know if you've seen that. Yeah. So afterwards, after the prisons, I'm going to be switching to Metal side. So most of the raid can start going on Metal, except for Patch, who's our anchor. And the boss is going to line itself up for the frontal so that we can break 2 shields in a line. I'll try to get a better perspective. I go back a little bit.
Once you've done both of them, then go to finger gun and 5. Once you've done both of them, then go a little bit towards the green one.
So you can see here, there's an ad right here with a shield. There's an ad here with a shield. So this finger gun frontal is going to go on a player. They're going to get an external. And basically you got to make sure this frontal goes in these ads and break their shields. Then afterwards, the anchor can switch over when it's safe to do so. Just counting up. And they go over about 98 again. When I go to the other side, we finish the side off. And we will be moving the boss roughly about here-ish for the mines.
Be close. Be close. Spawning mines far away is not beneficial for anyone.
Hopping first now.
Hopping second.
So they're doing the mines.
Hopping
So on this mines is Jafar doing it first, and then Elix doing the rest.
hopping forward.
Just remember to wait for the debuff to go off first. And it's Goblin's guided rocket, so you're basically going all the way to the stairs up here. And this is the immunity group, so this is the 2 tanks, the mages, and the rogue. And then we're getting the frontals again. So we're going to be switching to dirt soon. So these frontals should ideally be on dirt again. You see there, they're making last second adjustments. This person goes out of the raid and he gets an external. And then spray and pray, same again, you can go in dirt or just face it. roughly away from the raid if you can. Can't get to dirt. And then we're switching. And then we're going into prisons. So these prisons, there's a purple marker here. It's going to be there. There's an star here, and there'll be an orange down here.
Okay.
So, well, I'll keep playing for now, then I'll do the assignments.
Earthshaker Jail.
Double take your shit.
So, this orange one here is back left or number 2. So, this is number 2, back left. This is number 1, front left. And the one down here is number 3, which is right. So inside orange is Frixa, Artem, and Olan. You can see it here. Inside this one here. So this will be orange, this is star, and this is diamond. So the second one will be Frixa, Artem, Olan. The first one will be Mesty, Iradium, Kandak. And then the far one will be Riffy and Goblin Body. So it's the exact same as the first time. So these people doing this one and this one need to place a Transcendence beforehand or a Gateway, or who else is on it? Iradium will have to racial out, Kandak can Transcendence, Mesty can blink out, Goblin Body will use his Gateway, Riffy will Transcendence. All those people need to do that. And the same with these people as well. Frixa kind of, I think, it's backflip out of it, and Artem and Olan. It's just being able to not get knocked saves you a lot of damage. Like, damage done to you, and also gives you more uptime on the boss, and just is overall just better to skip the break if you can.
Wrong with these prisons.
Move to middle. Golden Drift.
So just before the frost boots, the boss is going to move here, and we're going to stack roughly there to get rid of our sliding debuff.
One.
So I don't know if you can see this, but you notice
Move to
that
middle.
when the debuff goes out, they're jumping, and this is because this fire puddle here is on a different z-axis. So you think this bottom line is the ground and this top line is the stairs. So in order for us to remove the debuff, we need to jump up to match the z-axis.
3, 2, 1.
If you watch it here, you can see some people are jumping to get rid of the debuff. They messed up here, they weren't meant to break, but I think they still managed it. So ideally, you go left over here, behind this prison here, or you go right around here, behind that prison. If I go to the liquid record real quick, I think that actually shows you what the actual assignment is. That doesn't anymore. Give me 1 second. Might be in here. Yeah. So on the very first one, right is actually the left, and left is on the right. So it's looking in that direction as you're running away with the debuff. And on the second one, the VCAR will tell you left and right looking in that direction. The left will be over here, and right will be over here. Just to bear that in mind.
Can't speak.
And then again, we're positioning a boss to target 2 of the shielded ads. So the person with the finger gun will have to make sure to get rid of the shield.
Okay, we can rest Sariel.
Try to keep it alive, maybe?
So you notice as well, everyone's moving to metal except from the anchors. They're staying behind, getting ready to phase that, go switch sides at the correct time.
Okay, we can rest Ariel.
Try to keep it alive, maybe?
So you can see here, Vikland is staying behind,
Or gun.
Frontal.
Electrocharged shield
Bravo.
dewiring.
and they're aiming the
Metal.
frontal to break the shields. And they switch to metal at 98. And this is the part where they move the boss forward to the line for the mines.
Yeah, into me.
So same again, just getting close around the boss, and then once the mines drop, just go out of the range a little bit. Getting ready to soak the shrapnels.
Mines. Watch your feet.
Yeah, hopping now.
Searing shrapnel.
Hopping second.
Searing shrapnel.
Hopping
Watch your
third.
health.
Shrapnel.
Hopping fourth.
Searing shrapnel.
Hopping fifth.
And afterwards, there's going to be another soak.
Watch your
Motherfucker's last one.
This Goblin guided rocket is going to be on Skull, and this is everyone except from the tanks, mages, and rogue.
Like someone went to the wrong person, like with the frost shadow boot.
Devil whammy.
And then
shot.
these
There was no prison. There was
Oh,
can aim towards metal.
yeah, there was no one on top.
Well, ideally these should be aiming towards dirt as well, actually. So all frontals should be on dirt. But as long as you're not in the raid, it's okay.
yeah.
Fuck,
So
they just
whoever was on
adjusted.
purple there, you trolled.
I think that's
You can like do
the
some.
wrong pull.
And come to the middle. Over.
We just go to their kill.
Kill that. Watch the circle. Water back. Shield him.
So you see here, they do it correctly here. So they're aiming it towards dirt.
Then it will be spray and pray.
Person gets an external, he goes out after the stun.
Shield him.
Spray and pray.
And then spray and pray also goes to dirt. Or just away from the rage on dirt, it's fine. Doesn't have to go exactly.
Say stop. Both.
And then the raid will move to dirt. And then the last second,
Minded fury.
the other person will do. So what we're doing here is we're trying to basically phase it at the correct time to just for DPS cooldowns and healing cooldowns, I guess. So you see here, it's sitting at 40% ready to phase. And they're waiting, they're holding damage until it reaches 100 energy, which is then when they'll push it. Which is right now, they'll push in, and they push.
Okay, range know where they're supposed to be. Kill
So
them.
now there's going to be this pylon is going to draw a circle. We're going to split the room in two, and it's going to rotate. And we basically got to rotate with it during intermission.
Watch your feet the entire time.
Static charge.
You're gonna go left. Watch your feet.
So the first time it goes left, which is this way. And then the second time it will go right, which is the opposite direction. You'll see in a second.
Keep watching.
Tanks will be pulling the boss back a little bit. Basically, he aims towards. He always goes with the room, but he just aims towards the biggest clump of space that there is.
Watch your feet.
So this one's going right, so it'll go this direction.
Keep watching. Watch the boss now. It might be weird.
And then we'll put it back again, and then it goes left, which is the first direction we did.
Keep watching your
And meanwhile, we're doing this, we're dodging, watching the blue swirlies.
Keep watching.
And the boss is in perfect position for more mines.
Close your minds.
So these mines coming up, we're going to be leaving 2 for the frost spears. So Jafar will do 1, Elix will do 4,
Watch
and
your
then
feet.
later on in the fight, Patch will do the rest of them.
Hopping first.
Searing shrapnel.
Watch your
Hopping
feet.
second.
Good close.
So making sure we soak the shrapnels. And then after this is going to be frost bits. So basically, these 2 here are not getting popped, and they're going to get CC'd. So the players are going to be standing here and on this side, and basically clear the debuff. And if you have the frost spear, you go behind the mine to get rid of the to make sure you don't get frozen. So you can see they go to the outside to clear the debuff, and then people with the spears are going into the mine.
Boards. Volsk will rally.
And then we're getting into position for prisons.
Shrapnel, What's your health here? What's the deal?
So let me just go through this. So this one here. So back left is Jafar, Rock Gobbler, Artem. Front left, which is number 1, is Frixa Kandak. Front right, which is number 3, is Rufi Hesnor, Cersei. And back 1 is Elix and Goblin Body. So again, this will be number 1. No, so 1, 2, 1, 3, 4. This is number 2, sorry. This is number 1, this is number 3, this is number 4 in the back corner. So these ones here, you don't need to Transcendence, or you don't need to escape it, but obviously it's more ideal if you do. So if you can't, don't worry about it.
Pay respects.
Rallying
Can
cry.
freely pot here if needed.
So during this, the Goblin Guided Rocket is going to go on an immune person in the second group, which is either the mages or the rogue. Basically, you're just going to put it so that it overlaps all these 3 prisons here. So that way the tank here can soak, and just if they're in a cage, they can soak basically. And if you don't get if you're not an immunity class that is assigned to soak, you just go on the other side of the prison, making sure you're not in the soak. And again, you can taunt the goons to aim the frontals
Electroshocker.
Coming out.
instead of doing it random, just aiming it randomly.
Come close for healing. Watch yourself.
And then finger gun again is going to be aiming
Watch whoever is killed by that. Just nuke that. Kill the rocket.
towards these ads.
Watch frontal, hit both ads.
Electrocharged shield.
I'd say the boss kind of badly positioned here for the ads, but it's fine. They still do it. So we're breaking this one here. So you just gotta be mindful of where the ads are. If you can stack like here-ish or here, and just aim the frontal that way. You can move the frontal. So if you realize like one's here and one's here, you can aim it that way, and then you can move to the right a little bit and aim it that way. Players will just have to move around you and be ready for that.
Just nuke that. Kill the rocketeer.
Fury finger gun.
Watch frontal, hit both ads.
Electrocharged
What's the-
shield. Faulty wiring. Faulty wiring.
What's
Faulty
Oatley?
wiring.
So afterwards, there's going to be a tank soak, same again. You just aim this away from the raid at this point.
Yeah. So help some healing post if you haven't done it. Watch Kevin. Watch Kevin.
Spray and pray.
Yeah, it's
And the same with this front, goes in the same position on metal.
doesn't matter. Like just res, help some healing post if you
And
haven't.
ideally, we should
Don't move.
be killing the boss right now.
Don't move. Stay.
But if not, I'll go through what we should be doing. So the boss will spawn mines. And whilst it's spawning mines, everyone's basically running to dirt side.
Together to the fire. To the fire. Get ready to link Oscar. Get close to the fire. Boots in 2.
And what's basically happening is all these mines here, once they're gripped up, they are getting rooted. Everyone is basically getting ready for the debuff on the fires. And if you get the spear, you just go around the outside behind them. One thing I did forget to mention for patch is after the prisons, you can see that the 2 mines that we froze with the frost spears are now unfrozen. So this is when you'd go over and pop them, and players be ready to soak the shrapnel as well.
We have a frontal. Kill that. Watch whoever is killed by that. Just nuke that. Kill the rocketeer.
Fury finger gun.
Watch frontal. Hit both ads.
Electrocharged
What's the-
shield. Faulty wiring. Faulty wiring.
What's
Faulty
Oatley?
wiring.
And then Oatley is getting ready to pop. Rambo.
You can see here they're doing it after the finger gun. So they're getting closer now, and then this hunter with the green marker right here is just going to go over and
Popping.
soak them.
MK2 electroshocker.
What I will say as well is
Wiring.
you can see it in this video perfectly. Is if you watch this green marker, he tries to go into the mine, but then the model is separate from the collision box for whatever reason. It's desynced. So if you don't pop it, you just got to run around it and try find the collision box.
MK2 electroshock.
Yeah. So, Hellstone heals push. If you haven't done it, what
And that is basically the fight, to my knowledge. I don't know if I missed anything, but yeah.